G'day, 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 ladies and gentlemen, and all those in between. We are back today bringing you another episode of Inside the Mind, where as a Chapter 1, Season 1 veteran, and we're bringing you guys the latest and greatest tips, tricks, strategies, and more to winning not only more games, but more crowns in Fortnite Chapter 6. So guys, as always, if you're keen to see us run it back here for the 2 wins in a row, that is right, we are joining up from yesterday's episode. Make sure you check it out if you haven't seen that win already. Make sure you guys do hit that like button. You know, and you hit that subscribe button. Alright, your support, it means a lot. We're smashing it. We are so close now. We are so close to 2K. Help us get there. Alright, I think what we're trying to do for this episode right now, I want to go for the train. You know, I think there's a few drop strategies we've got at the moment. And this is arguably one of my most favorite. Like, it gets me so excited to land here. Mostly because I know no matter what, like, I'm going to... Oh my... this is the best drop strategy of the entire season. I take it back. It beats, it surpasses, nay, it exceeds all other expectations, all other opportunities. Look, there is not a greater drop spot in the game. I think to get a purple, to get a Hollow Twister in general, insane. All right, now that of course is going to be right, guys. The Hollow Twister is going to be back. So excited to see that. We've also got close proximity as well to the 2 potential spawns there of the Queen for Demon's Debris, which means we'll be able to go and grab the... Oh, hello. We've actually got... You know what? I'm not going to go for the roly-poly. I want to take this over to the car instead. Now, technically, you can just take this jump pad straight over to the location there. And I might actually do it. I'm just going to quickly just identify there was a car there. It might actually have been the better choice to grab that roly-poly. You know, now, with a little bit of hindsight. But I mean, look, there is another car that can spawn up the road, so push come to shove, we'll just go and take that instead. Now, it looks like someone has been trying to grab the... Hello, we'll just quickly adjust that. They've been trying to neutralize the threat. It is very, very likely that they have actually stopped it right now because they've seen us, so try to be mindful of that. We're not going to go out there just yet. I want to sort of just analyze the situation. Now, we've got quite a few players here. I tell you, I missed you. I missed you so much. I never knew how much I missed the Hollow Twister until today. The ability to be able to shoot out, and look, the damage isn't going to be crazy. You know, I think that is one thing that needs to be said. The damage for the Hollow Twister is not insane. It's a fair amount of damage, but where it lacks in that sort of hard-hitting OXR damage, it's going to make up for in that accuracy. You know, it's going to make up for it in just the simple fact of that it will be able to more accurately and quite fast. Yeah, it'll be able to do it very, very quick, just mind you. Be able to really just take down these players. Now, it seems we've actually lost our Sentinel pump shotgun here. I'm trying to find where it is. We have found a bit of a green over here instead, which I'm pretty sure was a lot better than the grey that we once had. Got a helicopter player over there. I might actually use the ammunition from the OXR here to kind of scare it away. And I'm not going to reload it. I'm going to save our ammunition for the Hollow Twister. And see if we can't try and remove this Queen. Of course, what I would really like here is probably going to be one of the... Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll use all the ammunition from this one on the ground. And then we're going to go pick up our purple again. So being mindful, guys, about, you know, your ammunition, as well as the ways that you can sort of maximize it is going to be key as well. Immediately, I'm choosing another gun using its ammunition from the ground. Wow. Alright. Again, I'm not really too keen on using it all. Not really too keen on doing that at all in the slightest. We've got no vehicle as well here, which is probably one of the worst things for us. I'm a little bit nervous about that fact, but, you know, hopefully it won't matter too much. Of course, I'll be going for the Mythic here. Look, if we can get our hands on a better variant of the Hollow Twister, maybe I'll go for it. I think that it's all going to be situational this season. I said that in the past episodes, and I'll sort of stick by that. You know, I'll definitely 100% wholeheartedly will stick by that. Alright, we probably don't need 2 big boys. I'd rather the big boy over the... I'd rather the Slurp Juice over the big boy here, mostly because it's actually going to be able to offer us a lot of latitude, right, in terms of that healing per tick. Now, fortunately, we're going to have a lot of geysers here at this location as well, which is going to be great. So if you guys are running a little bit low on health, have no fear. You know, try not to worry a little bit too much, right? Because you're going to come over here, and this will give you 30 health or 30 shield. Right, either or, whatever you need, you'll be able to get it. I probably could have gone back there into the guys, and now that I think about it, but it's okay. You know, this is fine. Now, we do have a roly-poly up on that hill, but additionally, we've got this car that we've marked earlier on the map. So I feel like when you guys are landing down at your drop at the very, very start of the game, to try to be mindful about, you know, what vehicles are nearby. You know, even though they might not help you immediately, and maybe your strategy is to use to not use cars at all, or at least, you know, try to not use them as regularly as, say, I do. You know, I think that one of the greatest things you guys can do, regardless of the fact, is to just simply keep a mindful eye, you know, open for these sorts of things. Because even if you don't need it or you don't plan on using it, you never know what's going to happen. And I feel like the ability to have a car this season, really in any season, this chapter especially, is just such a dramatic difference when contrasted or compared to not having a car. You know, I find that the amount of games that I've won or simply been able to live purely by having a vehicle when my enemies don't has been insanely high. You know, the number itself is one that I'm truly surprised about. And it's just something that I feel like a lot of players are neglecting. Yeah, I feel like a lot of players are neglecting it. I feel like I neglect it as well sometimes, and so just try to be mindful about that, guys. Do not try to get all too hung up on being on the foot. You know, you're going to get cover. You're going to get the ability to rotate out of areas a lot quicker, a lot faster. And you're going to be able to do so. Oh, I'll go for the other guy instead. Reason being, whenever you guys are going up against a third party, if you're trying to third party players, just be mindful. You want to go for the one who is a lot, oh hello, a lot stronger. You want to go for the stronger player. You know, so that no matter what happens, you'll actually be able to remove the better player from the game. So even if, say, you get rid of that player, what you don't want to have happen is, of course, you go for the weaker player, and now you've got to go up against a stronger player who has more health, or maybe they have got more ammunition, better guns. It doesn't really matter, but you have just used all of your ammunition here, right? You've used all your ammunition going for that for that weaker player. And now you've got nothing, and you've got to go up against a stronger player. So, and I see it here. My eyes are not deceiving me. They are. No, it is. It's the modular frenzy auto. Look, I would definitely like to give that a go, but not right now. I really like the loophole that we've got. Now, what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to park the car on 2 launch pads, or 2 of the fueling pads. Why? Because these will compound, right? They will do double the refueling sort of speed there. Now, these drop pods are going to be landing closer to you in the recent updates, so we know that this guy's going to be not too far away. And you just can't beat the damage of the OXR. Yeah, the OXR is something that I'm quite surprised about. I remember when the season dropped, you know, everyone was saying, you know, the top streamers, I was even saying that the OXR was the most washed gun of the season. It felt like a nerf gun. It didn't feel accurate. You know, it felt quite risky to bring. You know, but I feel like that's changed now. I feel like it's changed to the point where it's actually not only usable, but the best thing to use. You know, and so when you guys get these sorts of guns in certain seasons, where that's the case, like midway through, it really sort of highlights to me, and it should highlight to everyone, right, that the true amount of power that can come with simply just practicing with an item. You know, whether it be in custom games, whether it be in just, you know, back-to-back battle royales. You know, no matter what it is, for me, I like Blitz. You know, I like to do about 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes of Blitz games before I do my battle royale. And I find that it allows me to really just go, okay, let's just not really care about this so much. Let's just sort of, you know, double down on what works. Let's just work on my tracking. You know, let's work on my, like, what's the speed that I tap fire at? You know, and I like to try and use the weapons that I'll be using in Battle Royale. I try not to use the cheesy items or the other items that are fun to use in Blitz. I don't really care for that. Yeah, what I'm trying to do is I'm in there for practice, and I'm in there for practice only. And I definitely believe that it's helped me a dramatic, like, just a lot, like a huge amount it has helped me. Now we are halfway through the game, guys. That storm damage has been doubled, right? The wait time as well between the zones as well has been increased. So a lot of changes there. Would like to get a headshot here. Might be behind the tree. I would like to go for the guy. Oh, he's going to be knocked down on the field there. Try and go for the wheel. And now I might as well just try and immediately grab into the car there. He will get exploded midair. Unfortunate for Dragon 27 quadruple 8. Absolutely unfortunate work there. We've got a glider over here. Oh, hello. Definitely beam dust out of the air. It gets very tricky. You know, if you guys are going up against these players who have a hill next to them where all you're really able to hit is going to be the... Oh, it's a bit disappointing. You know, is going to be their head. Try and just shockwave out of this. And I might use the big boy here. Or at least this slurp juice. Alright, that was our last one. Hopefully he comes for us because we'll be doing the old double pump maneuver 3000 on him. Now I'm checking the left flank. I know he's got the ultimate high ground there. It's also going to be invulnerable. We could probably also push with this slurp juice. Activate it because it will be healing us over time. Of course, we waited a little bit too long there, so... A little bit wasted, but I'm trying to think of where we can find other shockwaves here. So, I'm not... Oh, they've just taken the car away. Really, that must be so close to exploding. That must be very, very close. We do have some big boys over at this POI, so we might just rotate back here into Demon's Debris. And we can also use the geysers to rotate out. So, I think trying to take advantage, like full advantage of these POIs where they have these geysers, you know, where they have the ability to not only heal up but also rotate, is going to be really like just a huge benefit to your playstyle. Now we've got the Shockwave Hammer here, which we can also grab, and that'll be great for rotating as well. But I would like, there we go, we've got one of the big boys, and if I recall correctly, there we go, we've actually got two here, so that is perfect, that is brilliant. And guys, if you have enjoyed this episode so far, make sure you guys do hit that like button. And you hit that subscribe button. Right, help us reach our goal of 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Right, we started this whole journey at the start in January. We are back, we're halfway there. We are so close. Right, I'm very, very thankful. Alright, now we've got the high ground up there. I'm trying to think, right? Like, we got a geyser we could use. But if we use this geyser and the zone is quite smaller, I'm actually almost wondering if it'll be worth it. You know, what if we go into the geyser and then we're actually up in the air for a little bit longer? And then someone takes advantage of us. Of course, one of the greatest ways you guys can avoid that is simply by just trying to get down to the ground as quick as possible. Now, I also remember that we had a roly-poly up next to the train. So we could go there. Yeah, we could rotate to the roly-poly. Alright, now there should be a car over towards Outpost Enclave, as well as a slurp truck, which could be quite good to get. But right now, I think our best bet is going to be... I'm hoping, yeah, the roly-poly is still there. It's not my favorite vehicle. You know, it could be better. There could be, of course, a car somewhere hidden. You know, a car is just waiting here and saying, "Butter, please. I hope you find me." I really do, but I don't think it's going to be the case. Yeah, which is okay. It's definitely not going to be the worst thing in the world, but of course, we're going to use the roly-poly here because it is a situational item. It is a situational vehicle. You know, if we're going to be frank about it. And so using it situationally is going to be key. So the way I like to use the roly-polies is by simply going to the outskirts of zone. I like to take this around the edge, right? I don't want to be taking this into battles. Why, Butter? Why do you not want to take it into battles? Because this is going to be able to be disabled with just 1 or 2 hits. So it's very easy to knock you out of this. And considering we don't have an awful lot of mobility, it could be a little bit tricky. You know, it could be a little bit different. Now, there might be a car here. I'm kind of hoping there is. You know, I really do think that that would just make my day. But if there is going to be one, it should be to the left. We take a left turn here. Okay, there isn't going to be a car. It's a little bit sucky. It's a little bit unfortunate. But we do have some shots around the corner here, which we can definitely try and go for. Now, what we want to be mindful of is the fact that there is currently 4 other players left. Let's hop out inside this bush here. You can also use that roly-poly to maybe take 1 or 2 hits. Alright, so we've got old mate down the hill. Okay, now our place of a hidden cover, our secret area is probably now not so secret. But what I'm trying to think of is if we can poke our head out a little bit like so, hopefully we shouldn't be able to... There he is. Okay, so that's the guy that was... He's a good player. I kind of want him to get into a fight now and stay up there. And if he can do that... Don't... Oh, he knew it! He knew it! Okay, we'll find another bush. We're losing the roly-poly, which is fine. You know, I obviously would have preferred to keep the roly-poly, but... Sometimes you got to take these shots. I feel like now in hindsight it might have been better to just take that shot, but let's see if he comes on down here. I definitely feel stronger on the ground, mostly because we have that double pump. Oh, if we had shockwaves, we got the hammer here. I think we should probably follow up. Okay, wrong button. You can tell how much I use the shockwave hammer. Of course, it's definitely not a lot. Now, the only issue I have with the shockwave hammer is the fact that it has a 20-second cooldown. Alright, or it's near that. I think this was only a 15-second, so maybe that's going to be a bit better. Hopefully, this one should be fully reset. Alright, so now we've got a bit more quicker mobility here, which we can use. Now, in terms of getting that high ground, yeah, that's what I'm really going for. I want to get that hill up there. So we could probably rotate around to the backside here, or we could go around to that sort of hill underneath. But either way, I feel like if we start running up there, he's got the high ground, he can cut us off. So our best bet actually might be to wait for him to use the third one. Alright, there he goes. Now he does... Okay, somehow he's got more. I'm not too sure how that happens. We've only got 3 on ours. Maybe there's a legendary or a mythical variant of the hammer. Maybe he's got 2. Maybe there is something else going on. I'm pretty sure he can't have 2. So, immediately... We got zone pushing our way as well, which is quite nice. Uh-oh. That might actually kill us. Now, I don't believe he has got another shockwave hammer up his sleeve. Please do not follow us here. I'm warning you. Alright guys, if you did enjoy that episode, make sure you hit that like button. And you hit that subscribe button as always. Take care. Garnier.